One of the most exciting things a band or an artist can do is make a complete shift in their sound. Not only does it extend their reach, but also keeps the fans interested in the future of the band. And one of the best examples of this is an album released by Radiohead in the year 2000, the one and only Kid A. This album is often called the biggest left turn in the history of music, and even though initially that may sound like a little much, once you understand what the album was for the band, it's actually quite logical. OK Computer had been a massive success for the band, but as it often happens with Thom Yorke, every time he's successful with a formula, he goes out of his way to change it. At the time, he was suffering from writer's block and he was desperate to leave rock music behind and focus on more electronic styles of music, similar to the work of Aphex Twin. The result was a bunch of loose ideas and melodies with no lyrics that had to be organized into an album, but because the band had no direction, it was easier said than done. Actually, the band was about to break up at one point because some of the members sometimes sat through an entire recording session without doing anything at all, mainly because the track Tom had written had no guitars or drums in it. Because of this, Kid A became an album that can only be described as alternative. By adding jazz, rock, ambient, and electronic elements to the mix, Radiohead created an album that doesn't belong to any particular genre. As a matter of fact, in many of the songs in the album, Tom doesn't even sing, or at least his voice is modified to sound like something completely different, as you can see in the title track. The marketing of the album was also peculiar because it was one of the first albums to be promoted on the internet and it was released with no singles, but the change in sound was the main catch for almost every single fan and critic. And I know that you could probably think of many other bands that also made a massive shift in their sound, but going from being one of the best rock bands in the world to one of the most influential electronic bands of the moment in one single album is something only Radiohead can do.